Hello and welcome to another cast from That's Dota. My name's Mike. This will be a solo cast for you today of a Captain's Mode game in team matchmaking between Avengers and Aow Noi or A&D. This team's just entering the ban phase now, so
5 seconds remaining.
We'll wait to see their first picks in a minute, but for now Avengers opened up the ban phase with a Weaver ban,
Reserve time.
followed up by Elder Titan from A&D, and then a Venomancer ban from Avengers. So nothing too telling right now, just fairly strong heroes that you don't necessarily want to lane against. Elder Titan as a ban is an interesting one. He's a very flexible hero, but he does well against heroes with lots of summons. Broodmother, Nature's Prophet, things like that. So we'll have to see if there's something a little bit spicy coming out from A&D with that regard. And a Batrider ban from A&D to follow that out. Interesting to see lots of teams still banning Batrider after the patch. He's been nerfed, but after that laning phase ends, he can still have a huge impact, and depending on the kind of team fight lineup you want to draft, he can be a real problem. So, an interesting ban. Avengers going to have the first pick now for the Radiant team. I've not seen either of these teams play. It's a relatively quiet period of time for this region of Dota 2, so I'm not sure whether these are particularly high skill teams or not.
5 seconds
Certainly
remaining.
higher skill than myself, but that goes without saying, I think.
Reserve time.
Avengers going to dip into their bonus time for this first pick.
Crystal Maiden.
Crystal Maiden, okay, so a classic first pick up from
Dire
Avengers.
team pick.
Very flexible hero, very strong. Can jungle, but we imagine this will be part of a tri-lane. Doesn't give too much away. Speaking of powerful supports,
team pick.
the Lich comes out for A&D. So, impressive laning presence, a lot of magical damage, potential strength for kind of melee right-clickers in the later game, or against melee right-clickers anyway with the Frost Armor. So, a lot of strength coming out here. The hero's still struggling in this new patch. Doesn't seem to have a vastly high win rate,
10 seconds
and some
remaining.
teams seem to value him very highly, other teams not so sure about him yet, but
5
A&D
seconds
certainly
remaining.
thinking he's first pick material here. They're going to come right out of the gate with him.
Reserve
Taking
time.
a little bit longer to think about their second pick. Life Stealer, so a really strong carry.
Radiant
A
team
lot of
pick.
independence there, can offlane on his own, can be part of a tri-lane as well. Doesn't need much help to win a lane. The Frostbite is good to lock a hero like that down, but other than that, we're going to have to see Avengers come out with some decent control and damage output to try and get rid of a hero like that in the late game. Unless, of course, they want to run push, but banning out the Venomancer, perhaps not a crazy
Radiant
push
team
strat coming.
ban.
We'll have to see. So they're going to pick up a Viper next. Again, Viper, a real hero of the latest patch. Could be going mid, could be going solo lane. We've even seen him as part of a farming tri-lane. Really tanky carry,
10
benefits a lot
seconds
from some of the
remaining.
changes made in this patch, and
5
exceptionally strong at
seconds
mid.
remaining.
Clockwork gets banned out for the Avengers in this
Dire
new ban
team
phase.
ban.
More control, nothing too crazy just yet. Viper perhaps pointing towards a kind of aggressive mid-game lineup rather than super late, but we often see teams drafting a kind of
10 seconds remaining.
four-man push lineup with one kind of hard carry held in reserve. So Viper definitely can be
Radiant
part of that
team
face
ban.
rush element to the draft. We'll have to see what they're going to do with the rest of their picks though. Visage, the next ban from A&D, so possibly pointing towards a tri-lane for them. Could be with the Lifestealer. I think you might want to run the Lifestealer
10
solo in
seconds
this
remaining.
case. I'll have to see what Avengers go for their
5
offlane. This is
seconds
assuming Crystal
remaining.
Maiden's part of a tri-lane. I think it's a fairly safe assumption.
Reserve time.
She can jungle, but unless you want to play super late, it's not the most efficient way to run this hero. Not making the most of her, I don't feel. Bans obviously very difficult in team matchmaking. You've not necessarily played against these teams before. The team matchmaking pool isn't huge, but it's big enough to mean you don't run into the same teams all the time. So it's hard to remember which players are which, even if you have seen them before. What their strengths might be.
Dire
It's not
team
the case where you have respect bans or banning out a certain player. So Avengers, their fourth ban is going to be a Clinks. Very disruptive carry, lots of independence again, so actually might not have been a bad choice for A&D if they want to run
10
some
seconds remaining.
roaming supports with some independent laning carries.
5
Clinks, good
seconds
single target
remaining.
lockdown, not amazing against a hero like Viper, but someone like Crystal Maiden just absolutely gets
Reserve time.
destroyed by a hero like that. Last ban for this phase now for A&D. I'd be looking to ban something like the Alchemist, I think, just to stop them from picking up too much momentum in this mid-game. Alchemist is a very flexible hero as well, so it fits into their lineup as a support or a carry at this point for the Avengers. But we'll have to see. A&D might have something specific in mind with their next two picks that they might want to protect a little bit with this. They are dipping into their bonus time a fair bit here. Neither team giving away too much with their drafts yet. I think this is making the ban phase a little bit difficult. Sand King
Dire team
coming out
pick.
now. An interesting ban. Provides lockdown, obviously, but... ooh, Naga Siren coming.
Radiant team.
So, could be a support, could be a farmer as part of a tri-lane. Lich, not the strongest tri-lane hero, so I feel like Naga's probably going to be more support-based. This also denies it from Avengers. Naga, a great hero to lock down Lifestealer with the ensnare going through Magic Immunity. And it can also help close the distance and set up a big Lich ults, allow Lifestealer to get in with the open wounds during team fights. And obviously,
10
if you pick a Lich,
remaining.
your lanes are a little bit weak early on. As long as Naga can get a 6, that's going to allow her to add in a bit of protection, come in and intervene in if fights are going badly. So I like this pickup from A&D. Naga looked like she was going to break into the meta after TI3. Fell out of favour a little bit in this patch, but still going strong, seemingly, at least for A&D. Nature's Prophet, the next pick for Avengers, so if they are drafting a push, it's a much later game push, a much more 6.78 style push. I don't mind this, but it's going to shuffle up their lanes a bit now. They're going to need to make something big out of these last two picks in order to make sure they aren't punished too much for this Nature's, unless of course they're running it as a solo offlane. If they do that, they might be up against a Lifestealer. Not a bad matchup for the Nature's Prophet. A&D, they follow up with a Puck, that's their solo mid sorted out. Solo mid Puck doesn't feel like a bad or a good pick at this point. At the moment, they're a little bit lacking in counter push. Lich, not real much AoE unless he wants to blow his ult. Lifestealer, yeah, he's got the Infest, but you don't really want to be using that. Puck's Orb is about the best they've got, with maybe a bit of Riptide from the Naga Siren. So if this does become a push war, Pugna is still in the pool as well as Dragon Knight. They aren't the best team to push this back, and actually Dragon Knight might not be a bad pick here. Goes mid against the Puck, not the best matchup, but as soon as Puck leaves the lane, that T1 tower gets dropped with the Dragon Form ult. So, I don't know. They've got the Viper already, so likely to be a Viper mid, but we'll have to see what they do. They still need a support for Avengers to pair up with the Crystal Maiden, and maybe a one position carry. Unless they want to run Viper. So Dazzle's going to be that support. I'm not so sure about this. Dazzle's not... At the moment, at least, there's no one that obviously needs babysitting here. So the Shallow Grave's not going to be great. The slow early on might synergize with the Crystal Maiden. If they run a tri-lane with the Viper, that might be interesting. Unless they've got something in mind for their last pick. I don't know. This could go either way. Dazzle's had some changes recently. It's made him a lot more of a strong hero. But overall...
Reserve time.
I just am not sure about this, particularly because if you Shallow Grave someone, Naga can pop the song and just wait out the Shallow Grave. The same for Dazzle's ultimate, the Weave, as well. Lifestealer can purge it off with the Rage. Yeah, it's a little bit questionable. A&D banning out the Anti-Mage for the last pick. I think this is a good call. I feel like there's a big carry coming out for this last pick from Avengers, and Anti-Mage certainly would have been a great one here. Still lots of options for Avengers. But we'll have to see where they go. Maybe a Luna or a Weaver. Meanwhile, Avengers, they ban out the Bounty Hunter. A little bit afraid of the offlane potential from A&D, disrupting the Nature's Prophet in the jungle. Maybe even picking off some of these weak supports. So they're feeling that this Naga Lich Lifestealer is maybe forming a tri-lane here. Or at the very least that Lifestealer will be offlaning with the tri-lane carry yet to be picked, maybe. But We'll have to see.
10 seconds
Timbersaw still in the
remaining.
pool. Very strong all-round
5
hero, not bad
seconds
against these.
remaining.
Nyx might even be worth a pick-up here. 3 int heroes on the other team. A
Reserve
lot of
time.
potential pickups. Or even Outworld Devourer is in the pool, could run the puck off lane and get the OD mid. That would absolutely crush these heroes in the late game, but they're going to pick up the
Radiant
Timbersaw, and
team pick.
Timbersaw and Puck, this mid game is going to be absolutely horrendous for Avengers. If they can't get an advantage, Crystal Maiden and Dazzle are basically going to disintegrate. Nature's Prophet isn't going to fare much better. And it's also going to create space. Lifestealer can be left alone to farm, he can get really big, while Lich, Naga, Puck and Timbersaw just make chaos around the map, distracting Avengers from pulling off their game plan. And their
10
game plan at the
seconds
moment feels a
remaining.
little bit disjointed. Nature's Prophet wants to farm and push.
5
Viper
seconds
really
remaining.
builds tank, but not necessarily doing the deep. So what's this last pick going to be?
Reserve
15
time.
seconds of bonus time left. A Slardar. Okay, so a bit of an unexpected last pick, let's say, but could be built into something good. This feels more like a mid-game push now, and I don't know whether they're going to be able to pull this off. Lifesteal is going to be the big problem for Avengers. If this carry gets out of control, and there's a good chance he might, I'm not really sure they have an answer to it. I like the amplified damage against someone like Timbersaw. Viper Strike as well, quite nice against him, but this is going to be a tricky one for Avengers to pull off. Can they do it? We'll have to see how they lane this. They're just going to pick their heroes up now, and then we'll hop into the game and introduce the teams. Just the Timbersaw to be picked up, and we are in the game. Okay guys, let's introduce the teams then. On the Radiant team, it is Avengers. We've got TT on the Nature's Prophet,
Prepare for battle.
YY on the Crystal Maiden. We've got Pew on the Dazzle, picking up an absolutely lovely courier there. Stay Strong on the Slardar, and finally 12 inches on the Viper. For the Dire team, Aow Noi, AND, we've got KGH on the Lich, Koi on the Lifestealer. Apple will be playing the Naga Siren. Sud on the Timbersaw offlane, and on the mid we have Aqua on the Puck. Always love seeing Puck in any kind of game. Going to be an interesting one, midding against the Viper. Not sure how this lane works out. I think it largely depends on the build that Viper goes for. So whether we'll see more corrosive skin than anything else. Timbersaw got some wards, looking to play some
30
a bit
seconds
aggressively
to
here,
battle.
I think. Let's take a look at this build-up. Nature's Prophet going for a fairly standard jungle formula here. Dazzle already with a smoke. Looking for some aggression here. I don't know how much aggression they're going to find on this bot lane though with Timbersaw here, so maybe they're looking to gank mid, but Puck's not really the easiest hero to gank either if all you've got is slows and maybe at best a frostbite, so a bit dubious here. They can't really leave Slardar, who's
The
a
battle
melee
begins.
hero, not a particularly strong melee hero at that, in lane against the Timbersaw, so I don't feel too good about this for Avengers right now. Their lanes are feeling a little bit weak, and they're only going to get weaker with the presence of this Nature's Prophet. But we'll have to see how it works out for them. Apple strategically positioned here to watch out for any warding tactics, maybe get the drop on Nature's, but looks like they're actually just going to abandon this off lane. Nature's going to go straight into the jungle. Oh, Timbersaw. He's got an Invis rune. They saw him pick it up, I think. They've got the rune warded, so they know to back off. Even if he comes behind here, what can he actually do? He could get caught with a frostbite if he's not careful. I think Crystal Maiden sees him block off the pull camp. It might not do him much good though. They don't have any sentries available to deward, and they're actually going to try and stack, even though they must have seen him. Oh, and they've missed this. New Hill Troll Priest won't move unless you aggro him at melee range, so didn't get the stack off anyway, but that's unfortunate for the Dire there. Ooh, Puck going in a bit aggressively on the Viper. Right clicking down, no points in corrosive skin, unable to punish it really. Oh, bot lane. Timbersaw caught out a little bit by Dazzle there. Gonna go straight in with the poison touch. Until you skill this up, though, it's not going to be doing much damage in lane. And oh, Puck diving under the tower, catches out Viper on very low health for first blood.
Substance.
I think maybe the poison, the Poison attacker at level 1, not the best. He went for another toxin at level 2, so I think maybe you want a point in corrosive skin just to discourage Puck from right-clicking you down. Lich, I like this from KGH. He's gone straight to the jungle. He's realised that they're sacking this lane here. Apple not making much of a movement here yet. Really, Lifestealer can be left. He's not a concern. They can just leave him to be as they please. They've got 4 heroes on this bot lane. A&D supports can just go and do whatever they please. TT throwing out a bit of damage here. Oh, Sud, he's allowed himself to get caught out. Frostbite, he will Timber Chain out. He might get out here. Is there a teleport? There is. I don't think he wants to go in. Sud's gonna clarity up. Meanwhile, Puck has picked up a regen rune. Already got his bottle. Mid is going absolutely delightfully for him. And you can see from the last hits, as you'd expect, Lifestealer free farm in lane, 14 last hits in 3 minutes. Slardar not doing too bad. Timbersaw's mostly been pushed out of lane, I think, just from the amount of ranged harass coming out here. But this is really not what they need to be. I think it would have been much better off contesting this tri-lane up top. Timbersaw's under a lot of pressure, but ultimately he's not dying. And mid lane, kind of a wash, but with the first blood on the Puck, it's hard to call it an even lane anymore. And ooh, dodging a little bit of that poison damage with the phase shift. A lot of damage coming out from the Viper. He's got a point in that corrosive skin now, so it's going to be a little bit harder for Puck to harass him like this. But still, the supports for A&D faffing around up in the jungle here, pulling and stacking. They're keeping the lane equilibrium. I like the fact that Lich is up here maybe, but Naga could be roaming. If they got an ensnare off on Viper at mid, this is an easier, much easier kill, especially with the Riptide as well for Puck. Meanwhile, the supports for Avengers, they're fed up with the action at bot lane, and they are smoked up in this river, coming in on the Puck. The lane is very pushed up. They're going to need to get the Frostbite off before they can orb out. Phase shift, jaunts out to the orb, silence out, but it doesn't seem to connect on either of them. Frostbite on Puck. Nature's Prophet's in as well. This might be a death for Aqua. He's dropping very low. Will the poison take him down? He bottles up. Tang goes through the trees. Dukes upwards. Viper misses him. Great play from Aqua. KGH rotating down just to make sure he's okay. And Apple, buying a smoke, decides it's time to go in. Ooh, a lot of damage coming out of bot lane between Timbersaw and Slardar. Looks like they had a bit of a slugging match while the supports were away. This is what both teams need to be doing. The supports need to be roaming on both sides. They've got absolutely fine solo lanes and solo farmers. It benefits A&D a little bit more than Avengers, but even so, this is not a good setup for them. They have dewarded the pull now, so they could potentially pull the lane back, try and get a kill on the Timbersaw. Right now I feel like keeping the Puck down is maybe a bigger concern than the Timbersaw. I'm not sure. If Puck gets that Blink Dagger out, team fights become very difficult indeed. I'm not sure why the Waning Rift didn't silence Dazzle and CM there. In the end it didn't matter, but it could have been painful. And ooh, KGH and Apple coming in behind here. I don't know about this. They don't have a Timbersaw here to back them up. Timbersaw actually went down to Dazzle by the looks of it. I'm not sure whether this was a preemptive smoke. Meanwhile, 5-minute Midas comes out on the Lifestealer at top lane. And so much damage coming out at this mid lane. Phase shift dodging some of this poison damage from Aqua at the mid, but both mid heroes taking a huge amount of damage. Viper actually has a bottle out as well now, so at least they'll be able to do a bit of sustain in lane. And this looks like a full rotation into tri-lane, but the Crystal Nova has come out to Timbersaw. He's been frostbitten. Timber chains through Crystal Maiden, finished off by the Lich. Slardar needs to get out of there, but he's ensnared up. Great rotations from these supports here. Shallow Grave does come out into Slardar. He'll stun the Dire Hero to stop them from getting away. Sud, he's gone full in here. Dazzle might give up his life, but nope. Slardar, he's come back in on low health. Timbersaw will go down. Great counterplay by the Dazzle here, saving Slardar's life, allowing them to turn it around for a really important second kill on the Timbersaw. That means this Slardar, he's got treads up and 900 gold. He's actually doing really well. They did the right thing by rotating downwards, but they're going to need to play this a bit more sensibly. TT may be sensing that this top lane can't be fully sacrificed. He's got into lane now. Level 5. once this ult comes out, these kind of engagements might go a little bit better for Avengers. But I feel like maybe the damage has already been done up top. 5-minute Midas out on Koi. He's got 800 gold, doing just fine with 40 last hits. Oh, Apple coming behind. Ult goes out onto Puck, but he's got a lot of damage on him. He might just go down from the poison damage. Poison Sting comes out from Viper. He's surely going to go down. He's popped the double damage rune. I don't think he is. I think he's going to get away. The ensnare's already been cancelled. No mana for another one. TT comes in to secure, make sure he's safe. Whirling Death, Poison Sting, Timbersaw. He can't break through this. He needs the Timber Chain out right now. He does just get away. Is the poison going to take him down? They're still chasing. Viper's still got this double damage rune. How long has this lasted for now? Naga, she might go down here. They might give up 2 kills. They get the Dazzle. At least the Timbersaw's going to go down. And the Naga as well. So much being given up here. Aqua wants to come in to clean up, but I'm not even sure he can get anything here. Orb out onto TT. More poison damage. Oh, beautiful jaunt from Aqua. Lich coming in as well now. He's not 6 yet, but might be able to get this Viper at the very least. He is going to go down. Gives up a fair chunk of gold to the Puck as well. It looks like TT's going to get out of this just fine. He's actually very low health. The Lifestealer might want to turn around, but too late now. TPing to bot lane. So, overall, I think this is in the favour of Avengers. They're getting the kills on the heroes that matter. If you look at Avengers, 2-1-2 on the Dazzle, 3-2-0 on the Viper though. And this Viper is really going to benefit from those 3 kills. A couple of deaths, but overall he's doing just fine. Puck still pretty much where she was a few minutes ago towards this Blink Dagger. But Koi remains uncontested at top lane. Looks like Viper might be going up there now. His ult will go through the Rage, so not a bad hero to contest the Viper, but not the best either. To contest the Lifestealer, rather. Meanwhile, supports at mid. Looking for maybe to apply a bit of pressure to this lane one way or the other. Ooh. Coil comes out onto 2. YY will drop to the nukes. Looks like Pew's going to go as well. Phase shifts the ult from the Nature's Prophet, but TT is in now. He wants to finish this off. Shallow Grave on Dazzle will keep him alive just for a second. He's going to get down eventually, and it looks like TT isn't going to get this kill that he wanted on Aqua. Great play. Phase shifting the Nature's Prophet ult. That could have easily killed him otherwise. At least turned it into a 1-for-1 trade, but in the end they get the Dazzle and they get the Crystal Maiden, and it looks like Timbersaw picked up Slardar at bot lane as well. So AND punching back on 2 lanes. A little bit of harassment coming out for Koi, but way too much farm on him right now. He is just so happy up in this top lane. Nature's Prophet doing quite well. Slardar with 42 last hits. Pretty admirable, but I feel like Slardar's not going to be the terrifying force in the late game that Lifestealer is, and oh, just dodging each other at mid lane here. Aqua's got to be careful. Meanwhile at top lane, Slardar, I don't think he wants to come in here. There's 3 heroes. He does get the smash out onto 2. Amplify damage onto KGH. He's going to right click him down. Just gets it in time. The ensnare's not enough. Apple, he's going to be alright, but Slardar needs to get out here. Huge body blocks from Apple. Amazing plays. But Koi, he's so low. The stun. Is he going to go down? Timbersaw needs to finish him off right now. Chakram does it, but TT TP's in. Kills off the Lifestealer, but he's in trouble now as well. This could be another kill for Timbersaw. Sprouts himself in with Timbersaw, the worst place to be. Oh, but Pew and Viper, this team fight's still going on. They're going to take out Apple, tries to deny himself to creeps, won't get it. Timbersaw's got out. That's a 2-for-2 trade overall, I think. 3-for-2, I think, if you count the Lich dying as well. Lich has already respawned. So a very scrappy team fight there. Nice plays from Slardar. He went in a bit aggressively, but I feel like it paid off for him overall, and got another kill onto the Viper as well. He's got phase, poor man's shield up, and bottle, so moving towards quite a mid-game build. We'll have to see. I'm not sure if anyone on the Radiant team is looking towards a mech yet. It looks like another Midas actually might be coming out onto Slardar. Yeah, he's already got treads up, so I'm assuming that's a Midas coming out for him. So looks like they want to take this late. I don't know if that's in their favour necessarily, but we'll have to see. If they don't feel like they're going to end it now, I guess they've got a Nature's Prophet on their team. Taking it late is in their interest. Or Blink Dagger up on Puck and an Invis Rune. This is the scariest Lifestealer bomb in your life. And these two very squishy supports, oh my goodness, Coil drops, Infest out, instant death for those two supports. TP reactions could not come quick enough. Ensnare out onto Stay Strong, but Apple, he's going to catch the stun. Song to cancel it, and he just moonwalks out of there. Very nice pick off. The Lifestealer bombs have commenced, and what a way to open that with. These two supports are just going to melt.
Radiant's
Dazzle, he might have Shallow
is
Grave,
under
but he's
attack.
not getting enough time to even get that cast. And I don't think they've got an answer for this, unless they're getting BKBs up on their supports, and neither of them really looking at Midases or anything like that. Very underfarmed, so I can't see these coming anytime soon. It's really problematic for Avengers. That said, TT, he's doing alright farm-wise. I don't think he's died yet. He has died. He's died once, but generally okay farm. Or he might be about to die again. No. Tree spot out, Cold Close rotation. He's going to be just fine. So they're not doing too bad, but their supports are extremely squishy, and unlike A&D's, there's no massive jump up in power once these supports hit 6. Weave and the Crystal Maiden ult, they're okay, but they're somewhat situational, whereas the Lich Chain Frost, which is now online, is absolutely huge, and the Naga Song, as we've seen, extremely powerful in teamfight engagements. So I've got to like the support lineup for A&D more, or Viper Strike in, Coil under the tower, but I think Aqua's going to go down anyway. Phase Shift, more poison damage, beautiful play from the Puck, but there's only so much you can do, and Viper's going to get out here. Oh, but they're TPing in Timbersaw. Apple's here as well. He doesn't have Song, but he does have Ensnare. If Ensnare comes out on either of these heroes, they're almost certainly dead. TP from Lich into the T2 tower here as well, but they've backed off. So you have to ask yourself who the late game favours here. At the moment, Nature's Prophet is a unique hero in this game, in the late game. He's going to be split pushing, potentially very strong 1v1 as well, and they don't really have much to deal with him once he becomes extremely farmed. But the question is, do they need to deal with him? Can they just ignore him? Midas out on Slardar, he can become a late game force, but ultimately you've got Lifestealer building towards his armlet now with Treads and a Midas and 1,000 gold at 15 minutes. This is going to be seriously scary, and let's not forget that Puck is going to be pretty good until some of these heroes start getting BKBs, and not many of them are BKB heroes. Or let's hold that thought though. Looks like there's going to be an engagement here. Apple and KGH smoked up. They're going to find Viper here, who immediately pops an Invis Rune. Oh, absolutely awful. He's got the Chain Frost KGH, but he doesn't want to use it just yet. They drop a sentry for the Viper. Almost everyone up here now. TT thinks about TPing in, but cancels it in the end. They dive in behind the tier 1. I think A&D are just going to back off and give them this T1 tower, and that could not have been better for them, because that could have been an extremely awful team fight. Very close to them there. So they take a tower, Viper gets the last hit on it. That's going to make him get him very, very close to a mechanism. In fact, it's completed. He's already got the headdress. So I like the fact that he's gone for this. It's going to give him more tank, it's going to give them more team fight presence, and it frees up YY and PU to build other items. Items that are going to keep them in the game for a bit longer. Because right now, I'm really concerned for these two heroes. Earn on Dazzle and Boots. YY has even less boots and a ring of regen. I'm not sure if this is a 4-staff or Tranquils. I hope it's Tranquils. Oh, Viper gets the kill on the Timbersaw at bot lane. Looks like he had some help from TT. Nice rotations here. And that's TT's Shadowblade as well. So it looks like Avengers mid game is coming online a little bit faster than A&D's. The question is, can they hold out for the late game? Still no Chain Frost uses from Lich. It can help in defending pushes like this, but with the Treants, they're going to be able to soak up a lot of these hits, probably. Song comes out. These heroes are badly positioned for a Chain Frost, but the question is, can they make the most of it? Where's Lifestealer? I heard an Infest. He's in Aqua. They need something big here. Chain Frost goes out into TT. It's not going to do much damage. The Coil and the Infest Bomb kills Viper and Dazzle instantly, but they don't have any vision for TT. They're chasing down YY. Crystal Nova comes out to slow them down. The Radiant Curry's here as well. Aqua, he's going to blink forward. Frostbitten up, but the orb is going to finish him off. So 3 for nothing, and they defend the T1 tower here. They're just going to pick up some farm. TT does get out alive, which is a consolation prize, but Timbersaw actually picks up a kill at Slardar as well in the meantime, so
Dire's top tower
oh boy,
is under
4 for
attack.
nothing so far, and yeah, this is the cores on Avengers are doing fine, but they can't take team fights like that yet. They're pushing into infest bombs from the puck, and it's just not doing them very good. And here's the really bad news for them. If you look at the levels, this Crystal Maiden is level 5. She is going to fall into complete irrelevancy soon if she doesn't do something about it. She's gone for Tranquils,
Radiant's
which
middle tower
I
is under
don't even
attack.
think that was such a great idea now. It's
Dire's
going to
top
give her a bit of
tower
movement
is
speed.
under
She's at least going to be a bit more survivable. TT pushing up this top lane. He's got the Shadow Blade. They're going to need some vision for him, and right now they do not have any. They did have some sentry wards earlier, but they're going to need to carry a lot more of these, or they're just not going to be able to stop him from pushing out these lanes. Koi's happy to farm it, but it's still not the ideal situation for him or their team. Crystal Maiden does finally hit 6. Not
Dire's
such
bottom
a
tower
horrible
is under
situation for
attack.
the other supports, for the Dazzle, and pick up this tower. No one gets the last
Dire's
hit, but
bottom
not
tower
denied
has
either.
fallen. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So Avengers doing what they need to do, pushing now, trying to end the game earlier before things get too nasty. Lich position to come in here. They've got a Timbersaw as well. I don't know if they want to go too deep into this. There's 4 heroes. Okay, they repelled the push at the very least. Blink Dagger now up on Slardar. One of the nice things about the Midas is that it allows you to get these nice mobility items that just
Radiant's
make
top
Slardar a
tower
more
is under
interesting hero.
attack.
So he's going to have a bit more impact in team fights, but do they need the initiation like this? I mean, are you initiating onto Puck? The Lifestealer, Timbersaw? Even the Naga is extremely tanky, 9 armor, 900 HP. She's got boots. She's actually having a terrific game. Some great songs as well. The only hero you're likely to kill is this Lich, and even he can frost armor himself, so I don't know about this. I think the Avengers need to come up with a game plan, and that game plan might
Radiant's
not
middle
want to
tower
involve
is
giving
under
up this
attack.
T1 mid to Puck, because oh, Slardar. Lifestealer pops out. Aqua is going to drop extremely fast with the amplify damage, but Lifestealer is going to clean it up here. Puck unable to phase shift the damage. Koi, he's actually going down. There's so many rotations. Great reactions from Avengers. Song comes out to close the fight. Can Timbersaw get out? He wanted to get the kill on TT, but Apple did not think it was a good idea. They're going to chase this up now. They don't even get the tower. 37 HP. It is deniable, but it looks like TT wanted to save himself first, which is perfectly understandable. Timbersaw, a bit aggressive here. He wants to go in on Slardar, but I think he lost vision on him. Meanwhile, they turn around this push. Just dead even for these teams. A little bit of gold in favour of Avengers, probably due to the double Midas, almost certainly due to the double Midas, and the fact that Nature's been pretty effectively jungling. Plus they've got 2 going on 3,000 gold of tower gold entitlement as well. Make that 3,000. Do they want to push this now? They have got Chain Frost up, but they don't have the coil. I feel like they need that before they go in. Orb comes out, just for a little bit of pushback. In terms of XP, it's dead even. There might be a disparity between the Crystal Maiden and the Lifestealer, but that disparity is not showing on the averages. And I think that's significant because despite these Midases, despite these despite the way these towers are falling, another tower goes down bot. We're still seeing equal on kills, equal on experience. No team is really edging each other out, and this is where the game starts to get a bit dicey. It's 20 minutes in. TT picked up a Necrobook 1. He's pushing down towers. They've already taken a T2, and they've only lost 1 of their tier 1 towers. So, from their perspective, their strategy right now, this is the time for them to make their moves. But at the same time, A&D, they know they only need to hold off a little bit longer. Puck is sitting on 1,500 gold, so a little bit off the hex, but that's going to be coming. 2,000 gold up on the Lifestealer. I imagine he is going to go Basher next. I'm not sure. We haven't seen any huge Chain Frost up, and also A&D don't have a mech yet. They are having one built now. Timbersaw not too far off his Bloodstone. Looks like Slardar got caught out in the jungle there. Aqua coming in to help out. Koi getting the last hit. Again, not the best rotations. seems like they do better when they can get those big prepared AoE team fights when they're not pushing into the lifestealer and fest bombs as well. I love this aggressive ward here for the Radiant, spotting out the secret shop, spotting out rotations around the tier 2 towers. It's going to help them take this tower at the mid lane as well. TT, he's going to continue to push up this tower. Koi, he's just farming right now. He's going to get scouted out by a Treant. I don't know if they want to do anything about this though. Radiant support's happy to jungle in this bot. Crystal Maiden almost got her 4-staff up. That's quite big, and Dazzle has a medallion, which is absolutely brilliant later on for a hero like Lifestealer, even for the Naga as well. As I said, massive damage, and if an Assault Cuirass comes out on Lifestealer, that's only going to get worse. Necrobook 2 now up on Nature's. I don't know what their answer is to Nature's really. They've got the late game team fight, but Nature's doesn't want a team fight late game. Nature's is quite happy to run rings around you and push down your towers, and right now they've got an exposed tier 3 tower, and this is exactly the situation Nature's likes to be in. If they 4-man with their other heroes, push down top, apply pressure up there, I'm not sure what else they're going to do, but A&D smoked up, Lifestealer infested into Puck. What do they want here? They will have been spotted out by the Radiant. The question is, did they notice? Oh, they counter with a smoke of their own, which hasn't been spotted out, but they're going into the secret shop. They're expecting them still to be there. Meanwhile, the smoke either gets cancelled or runs out. Park is going to TP back, and that leaves these two supports exposed. They're going to run right into this Radiant smoke if they're not careful. They're hanging around. Oh, Lich, don't go up there, buddy. It's not safe. Amplified damage. Couple of right clicks. He's absolutely toast. Apple now in trouble as well. Nature's Prophet ult comes in. Slardar. The song cancels it. Apple makes a quick getaway. Meanwhile, Aqua and Timbersword, they're rotating in. Maybe they want to defend this. Maybe they want to go in here. Nature's Prophet ult has been used. Crystal Maiden has actually skilled her ult. She's having such a bad game in terms of levels. Which is a great decision, incidentally. 2 points in the aura to help out the team. And Avengers, they know this is their time. They're going high ground right now. Ag's out on the Viper. Just a little bit of harassment, pushing back, going for the slow siege. I feel like if Viper was bot lane pushing this, TT could safely push out the top lane instead. But all the while they're doing this, Lifestealer is farming on his own. Ooh, coil out onto TT. No vision for him though. He is silenced up. He's not getting out of this, surely. Timbersword's going to finish him off. But the rest of the Radiant team, they're pushing mid tower. They need to rotate in here. They don't have Lifestealer. I feel he needs to rotate for this. He's going to TP in. No, this is Lich. Just going to apply some pressure. Lifestealer will TP in now. He has got Infest up. Open wounds onto the Viper. 4-staffed away by YY. Excellent plays. Timber Chain just misses. Silence and Ensnare up to 12 inches. Nature's Prophet, he's brought back. He wants to help out here. He throws out the ult. He's going to TP in for sure. TP's in behind Puck, who will phase shift some of the damage. Shadow Grave coming out at just the right time onto Viper. Lich goes down. Puck goes down. Naga goes down. Timber's going to go down as well. Absolutely clutch play from Nature's Prophet and from the Dazzle there. It's a team wipe for A&D. Avengers, they're going to take this tier 2. They might even threaten Rax. Buyback is available on Lifestealer, it is available on Puck. But coils down for Puck as well. I don't know if they can push this back. They're going to keep going. Nature's gets the gold for that. He's going to have Necrobook level 3 by the time this is over. That was an absolutely incredible team fight. Nature's Prophet buys back, throws the ult out, TP's in behind. And Aqua, again, he is on point. He phase shifts the Nature's Prophet ult, but there's just too much damage. Slardar blinking in. KGH, he's going to go down to a couple of hits. Amplified damage, just doing so much. And another Shallow Grave from Pew. Great play. YY is ensnared up. He's going to 4-staff himself out. Will it be enough? The call gets dropped on Pew, but stay strong. He's got a BKB now. Just absolutely ignoring the coil, smashing down Puck. Apple sprouted up as well. This is absolutely atrocious for the dive. This could be GG. Stay strong, taking a lot of damage. He's going to blink out. Timbersaw coming in now as well. Going to repel the push.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And that's enough now for That's enough now for Slardar, and with that the rest of the Radiant team pushed out. I think they could have stayed in there maybe. Puck still down, again, no song. They've got the Chain Frost, but not really an opportunity to use it. But they play it safe, they pull off. Some amazing plays. 2 incredibly important shallow graves, keeping key heroes alive. And in the case of Viper, you're keeping a hero alive who does damage just by existing. They were still doing damage to 12 inches. He was just repelling all of that damage back with corrosive skin. And it was just nuking down those squishy heroes on the Radiant team, including the Puck, who ended up going down to this poison damage and is now further away from the Hex than she was a couple of minutes ago. So, wow, what a few minutes of play from Avengers here. And we can see now the gold, 14,000 in favour of Avengers, 8,000 experience. This late game for A&D is looking further and further off, and it feels like, yeah, it's really difficult. The mid game for Avengers came on a little bit earlier, but I think they just applied pressure more successfully. And Lifestealer, he wanted to farm, he wanted to go for this late game, which was the right thing to do at some point, but I have to say, this Slardar pick turned out to be way more impactful than I thought. Once that blink comes out, going in on some of these supports, they don't even get time to react. Naga is tanky, but by the time she's appeared, rotations from heroes like the Nature's Prophet are just on point, always there when you need him. TT's had a magnificent game actually, really been playing well. Not just pushing out lanes indiscriminately, but A&D. They want to turn this around now with a big team fight. They've got Puck infested up. Apple's going to have his smoke broken by Pew. Can they go in here? 12 inches. He's still attacking the tower. He wants to get the last hit. Is it going to cost him his life though? Chakram, Whirling Death. Slardar smash on 2, but Lifestealer comes out. He pops the BKB. Orb's coming out. A huge Chain Frost bouncing between everyone. Stay Strong doesn't care though. He's BKB'd up. Doing so much damage. In the end, Naga is going to drop. Viper's going to drop as well, but Slardar, he comes back in. TT finishes off the ledge. He's in so much damage. He's going to drop down. Stay Strong. His BKB's on cooldown. Shadowgrave is around, but it's on cooldown as well. Timbersaw, is he going to be okay? Buyback from Nature's Prophet. He pops his ult now. He doesn't have it. It's not a buyback. Buyback from Slardar. YY taking a lot of damage. Pew taking a lot of damage. They're left here all alone. Slardar's coming in as fast as he can, but I don't know if he can finish them. In the end, 4 heroes for 4, I believe.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe gonna make it 5. Still chasing YY. I don't think this is worth chasing. Slardar's coming behind. Puck sees him. TP's out as a result. Very scrappy team fight. Really hard to tell who wins out of a team fight like that, but some key heroes die. Ultimately, they take another tier 2 for it, and it's a trade, but at this point, the trades are fine for Avengers. They know that their next objective is a lane of racks, and it feels like the whole map's open to them right now. Aggressive wards still coming out, one up on the Dire jungle here, and another one inside the base. The Radiant just know absolutely everything that's going on right now. Slardar blinking on Aqua. Amplify damage, just 3 hits and Aqua's dead. He will actually go down there despite managing to phase shift. BKB allowing Timbersaw just can't do anything. Amplify damage out again on Apple, a couple of hits. This Slardar is just soloing the enemy team here. TT comes in, a great rotation. KGH is going to go down. Stay Strong, doesn't matter whether he gets the stun this time. It's been very liberal with this BKB. It's already down to 7 seconds, but it feels like even a 2-second BKB right now would do what Slardar needs, because he doesn't need much more than that. Necro level 3, pushing the tier 3 tower. It's going to drop. We've boosting the magic, the armor. This Lifestealer, he's farmed well, but it just wasn't enough, and I think this tower gold made a big difference. Tower gold was letting these heroes finish items like a 4-star from YY. Even the blink on Slardar, I don't think they would have had these items. Well, maybe in Slardar's case he had the Midas, but heroes who just should have been extremely underfarmed like YY ended up getting key items like this 4-star, and this is where Tower Gold makes a big difference. Not to the heroes who were already farming, like the Nature's Prophet, but to the heroes who were never going to get farm, like YY. But A&D, they're not out yet. Infested into the Puck. They're ready to go for round 2 on this top lane. They've lost the mid lane of Rax. They know things are looking pretty bad for them. No Roche attempt this game. Avengers have been too busy pushing, and Lifestealer hasn't really had the time. Here we go, Weaver's up, Chakram's going to come out, it's a huge coil onto 3, Infest Bomb instantly nukes down the 2 supports, so much damage. Song's going to come out, Stay Strong might get out of this, but 12 inches is in a very bad situation. TT as well, he's going to Shadow Blade up, no vision for him. They do go after him, but KG's left on the backside, Chain Frost out is going to finish off Stay Strong. Can Aqua lock down 12 inches? The Viper Strike will come out, Chakram, Whirling Death. That was a great team fight. That was what they needed. 4 kills just for the loss of the Lich. They defend the T3 as well. Basically no damage done to it. Great team fight. It's only going to be a little bit of a dip down, but it will be a dip nonetheless. And it looks like they might be heading towards Roche now. A little bit dangerous with Nature's Prophet still on the field, but they are lacking in vision on the Roche pit right now. They won't know if he's gone in, and I think Lifestealer could solo Roche at this point, maybe. BKB now purchased by the Viper. That's quite a big deal here, because if you've got BKB up, Puck can't do anything. Timbersaw, oh, Aqua, buddy. Looks like they want to grab the Radiant Courier. They do manage it. Koi Koi drops extremely low to Nature's Prophet, but Whirling Death, Chakram, the Necrobot creeps come out. Pew comes out of nowhere. Blink Dagger on the Dazzle. Oh boy. Puck drops immediately. Koi Koi does get out though. I think that's the important thing. They do secure. Oh, Timbersaw, careful now. Don't want to take that damage, buddy. Oh, apparently he does. So they don't manage to get the Roshan, interrupted by the Radiant team. They might even consider it themselves right now. BKB up on Viper, BKB up on Slardar as well. There's nothing actually most of these heroes can do against that. This is where they needed Lifestealer in some of these fights. Puck, Lich, Timbersaw, and Naga are really negated seriously hard by BKBs, and with an Aegis up on, I imagine Slardar. Yeah, Slardar. I don't think. Well, Viper could make space, but this amplified damage. Roche is just dropping so fast. This is what they need to push another lane of racks down easily now. TT, I like this. He's pushing up the top lane. He knows they don't need him at bot lane anymore. 2,000 gold, Necro 3 and an ultimate orb. He's only about 1,000 gold off a Hex Stick. Not that he needs any more farm, but he's doing absolutely brilliantly. So they're going to push down this bot lane. Stay Strong and 12 inches leading the charge. Pew following up. Blink on Dazzle. What an absolute luxury item. I love this. It's allowing him to survive in these team fights. We saw in that fight up on top, the Infest damage alone, followed up by a Waning Rift, just kills him from full health. He knows that he's not going to get Shallow Grave off if he's in that kind of a fight. The Blink lets him get out if he can have that kind of reaction time. A&D still hanging in, counter pushing.
Bottom tower is under attack.
TT, Demon Edge up on him now. This could get nasty. They do scout out Stay Strong on this high ground here. Oh, apologies for that. Yep, I lost the video there for a sec. Apologies. I don't think anything happened. We're still at a bit of a standoff here. Still counter-pushing out these lanes.
Uproot you.
I'm not sure what happens if there's a 5-on-5 engagement. We've seen from that defense at top lane, if Aqua gets the drop on them, this becomes very nasty. But right now, I don't know if they need to force it. TT could easily go to top lane, push that out on his own. Ooh, they've smoked up here. This is an interesting one. Maybe looking to wrap around through this mid lane and catch them out by surprise. This is nice play here from A&D. They found Puck, he's infested up. I don't know if Puck can take this. He drops the coil, but instant BKBs. Aqua is dropping so fast. The song comes out, but the two BKB'd heroes, they're the ones that are dealing all of the damage. I don't think they can focus them down. Aqua taking a lot of damage. Chain Frost comes out, but the Shadow Grave onto Slardar, and a huge Crystal Maiden on top. Oh my goodness. Apple is going to drop, Koi Koi is going to drop, Sud's going to drop. The Aegis does pop, but Slardar's quite happy with that. Full health, ready to come in and blink. He people down. Aqua, he does buy back, but I don't think this was a good idea. Stunned up, amplified damage. Pew doesn't even go down. TT is now here to finish. I think this is GG.
Dire's middle tower is
Really
under
nice play there, coming around from the
Dire's
side
bottom
with the
tower
smoke
has
gank.
fallen.
Caught them by surprise, caught the puck on his own, and they just didn't have the reaction.
Dire's
I have to
bottom
say,
barracks
great play from the
has
Naga
fallen.
Siren throughout. The songs have been on point
Dire's
mostly,
bottom
but
barracks has fallen.
very well played. Well, a really enjoyable game there. Thanks very much for watching, guys. If you want to find more of us, we stream at twitch.tv/thatsdota, and you can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/user/thatsdota as well. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in another cast.